Hey everybody, it's Nell. Welcome back to Little Yellow House Crafts. If you are new, welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. I want to start out by just thanking you all for your lovely, kind, welcoming comments on my last video. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. It's been really sweet. It's been so fun to read all of your comments, and so many of you were excited to see me do another video. So thank you. That just really made me feel loved and made me just, yeah, I'm just really grateful. So thank you for that. I've continued to stitch like a maniac, so I have a lot to show you. I have several finishes, nothing fully finished, but I have several finished pieces and some whips and some haul and some stuff to show you. Before I get started on what I have been working on recently, I had several people ask to see my projects that I entered in the state fair this past summer in 2019. So I'm going to start by doing that. There were 7 pieces that I entered this past year, and 6 of them won ribbons. Have them right here. The Missouri State Fair, I won 6 ribbons, 1 first place, 2 second places, and 3 third place ribbons. So I will go through the projects that I entered, and yeah, and we'll just talk about them. So some of these were finished before I stopped stitching, so you may have seen them finished. Some of them were not, however, so this might be a bit of a surprise. So we'll just see. I can't even remember what I had done before I took a break, so I have no idea what you guys have seen, what you haven't. First, let's start. They're all down here, and I'm going to have to bend down to pick them up, so apologies if I drop out of the frame for a minute. Let's start with the first, the one piece that I entered that did not get a ribbon. And it's funny because I think of all my projects, this is one of my favorite pieces that I entered, but it didn't get a ribbon, so who knows. You can see my shoe rack back there. Also, we're doing laundry. Tuesday is one of my laundry days, so you might hear some background noise. Apologies, but this is my real life, so we're just making do. So this is a Country Cottage Needleworks piece that I finished a couple of years ago. If you've been watching me for a few years, then you will have seen this, but this is Country Cottage Needleworks Red, White, and Bloom. Isn't it so cute? I finished this on a aluminum tray I found at an antique mall. It was a really good price. It was like $3 or $4. It was the perfect size for this piece. It's like it was made for it. I just think this is adorable. So you can see I did change the colors. I cannot remember what the colors were that I used. It's all DMC. I think the blue that was called for was had more of a green in it, more of almost a blue green, and I didn't like that, so I changed it up. But everything else is as called for using the DMC at least. It looks like I stitched this on probably ivory or antique white or maybe lamb's wool linen by Zweigart. And then to finish it, I just kind of did my very best Priscilla Blaine impression, and I finished it on a piece of mat board with some batting behind it. I added this little pom-pom trim that I found, there's more of it down here, that I found at Joann's. Tore some quilting cotton in this dark blue, and then added some of this vintage cotton lace that my grandmother gave me. My grandmother gave me this enormous shopping bag full of vintage lace and trim from like the 60s and 70s. It's amazing. I'll have to show you sometime, but this is some of it, this cotton lace that I just think is so pretty. And then I made a ribbon with the quilting cotton, and then or a bow, not a ribbon, a bow, and then added some of this pom-pom trim and a little covered button in red. And yeah, so that is Red, White, and Bloom. I entered this in the state fair. It did not win a ribbon, but I don't care because I love it. I did this tray, I don't intend to use it ever for anything else, and so I went ahead and glued this stuff right onto the tray. And I also Gorilla glued, using Gorilla Glue, a sawtooth hanger on the back, so this can hang on the wall like that. I just have it hung on my thumb right now, but it hangs, and it's beautiful and adorable, and I love it. So that was Red, White, and Bloom. Did not win a ribbon, but I still love it. Okay, let's start. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, we'll do this one. This is a Little House Needleworks piece that I had started, and I don't know if you guys have seen it finished yet, but this is My Sheep Hear My Voice. I'll bring it in so you can see. My Sheep Hear My Voice. It's long and skinny, and I finished this on this board, or I don't know. This came from the unfinished wood section in Hobby Lobby. You can see the back. It's just 3 boards stuck together, and it didn't have the jute. It just had these little things so you could make a hanger. So I just used some jute to make a hanger, and it hangs like that. I backed it with some homespun in this kind of almost, it looks almost tea-dyed, like red homespun check. Made like these little tassel-y bits from the homespun. Made a bow out of some jute and a little covered button in the same homespun, and that's it. It was really simple. I think it's really pretty, and yeah, the fabric color is perfect. It matches this red that's in the chart. I think that's Manor Red. I think it's Classic Colorworks Manor Red. But yeah, so that is My Sheep Hear My Voice. This one won a ribbon, and I can't remember which ribbon it won. I think it won, yes, it won a 3rd place ribbon. So that's My Sheep Hear My Voice. Love it. 2 down, 5 to go. This one, I love this piece. This one won a 2nd place ribbon, and this is, I think this is Country Cottage Needleworks. It's either Country Cottage or Little House Needleworks. I can't remember. This one I did have framed. This is Brave Hearts. And it's beautiful. I'll bring it in. Sorry for the reflection. You can see into my backyard. And this is Brave Hearts. This is the one I talked about. I did finish this before I took a break from stitching because I think I told you guys I ran out of the cocoa bean that's used for the lettering, and I actually had to change the word love to be in red because I literally was down to like 4 inches left of thread. So I stitched this on 32 count 2/2, and if you stitch it in 32 count 2/2 and you use the called for colors, you will probably need more than 1 skein of cocoa bean. But regardless, I think it's beautiful. We framed it with the double matte with the blue and then the red underneath it. I just think it's gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful. This one took a 2nd place ribbon. Next, this one I believe also took a 2nd place ribbon. Let me just see. Or no, that wasn't Brave Hearts. That one was Heroes Shall Sleep or something. Sorry, I can't remember what they're called. It's been a while. This is a Lizzie Kate. This one took a 2nd place ribbon. This is Let Them Be Little. And this is the one that I stitched all in Dinky Dye silks. And Abby Bella Stitched saved my butt by sending me another skein of this brown. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I only had one length of it from an Oops pack of Dinky Dyes that I bought on Etsy, and it wasn't going to be enough to do the whole project, and I really debated whether I should rip it out and start over with a different thread, and Abby was so sweet and sent me a whole skein of it, so I was able to finish this. So thank you, Abby. It's beautiful. Stitched this all in Dinky Dye silk on some kind of hand-dyed fabric. I don't even remember, maybe ale or wren or something. But I love this, and we decided not to put a mat on this. This was an open back frame that was already made, and it was the perfect size for this piece. So no mat, but it took 2nd place, and we just used a barnwood frame from Hobby Lobby. I have all of my stuff framed at Hobby Lobby. However, I pin and lace it myself because I used to work in the frame shop at Hobby Lobby, and I've seen how some of those gentlemen finish the needlework. When I was working in the frame shop at Hobby Lobby, it was like my job to do all of the needlework that came in because, bless them, they hadn't the faintest idea what they were doing. So I pin and lace it myself. I have them cut the acid-free foam core for me at the store when I order the frame. I bring my stuff home, pin and lace it all myself, and then when they let me know the frames are in, I bring it back and they assemble it for me. So that's how I do it. But that is Let Them Be Little by Lizzie Kate. It's a really sweet sentiment. I love this. This hangs in my office above my desk to remind me to savor the moments, to not wish away these young child years that are difficult, but it's just really sweet. Okay, next. Sorry, out of the frame for a moment. These are 3 little pillows I made, and these won a 3rd place ribbon in the pillow category. And these were extra little bonus charts that came with my Lizzie Kate Halloween mystery sampler that I did a couple years ago. I think it was the 2015 or 2016 mystery sampler that Lizzie Kate came out with. And these were the little bonus charts. The sampler came in 3 parts, and it also came with these 3 little bonus charts, as well as the fabric to stitch them on. So these are all stitched on Weeks Dye Works linen, which is not my favorite. It uses the Witchelt base, or at least it did at the time. I've heard that Weeks Dye Works is starting to use Zweigart. That is awesome news. I had no idea. But this is Witchelt linen. It wasn't my favorite, but it was fine. They're such small pieces. So we have this one, which is spooky. And I just made these into little tuck pillows, and you can see there's a little black bow and a charm on each of them. So that one has a little moon charm. That's spooky. Fix the charm here. This one is haunted. This one has a little spider charm with the bow. And this one is scary with the little key. And I just finished them using some rickrack and then some black gray fabric I got from Joann's. And so they're just 3 little tuck pillows that all go together, and I think they're adorable. I did not know what I was doing when I put this rickrack, when I sewed the rickrack into the pillow, and it was a hot mess. And now Kathy Haberman from Hands On Designs actually has a video tutorial showing you how to insert little trims like rickrack or other things when you're making little pillow finishes. And I wish I had had that video, because don't look too closely at them. They're a little crooked. Some of them are not sewn straight at all, but I think they're adorable, and they're my first little tuck pillows. I don't have like a dough bowl or anything to display little tuck pillows in, but now I need one because I have these. So that was my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th entry, and they took a 3rd place ribbon. 2 more. We're almost done. I'm saving the best for last. This I know you guys haven't seen yet, and I'm so excited to get to show this to you guys at long last. So about a bajillion years ago, I started the Advent Animals, the freebies from Brooks Books. And they are free charts. They're on her website. If you Google Brooks Books and then you go to her website and go to her freebies page, you will find all of the Advent Animals. At least they were up there. I don't know if they still are. And I started it as a sort of pseudo stitch along with Stephanie from Lindy Stitches. Stephanie from Lindy Stitches. And she finished hers in 6 months. Mine took me about 3.5 years, but I did finally get them all done. I stitched all of mine separately so that I could finish them into a little advent calendar, and here it is. I don't know if this is all gonna go into the frame or not. Oh my wordy. Oh look, you can see how I finished them. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so there's up through 25, and it goes all the way down to here. It's big. It's a big piece. This is my Brooks Books Advent Animals. So what I did is I finished them all into little flat ornaments. You can see on the back I just used this striped fabric and then this fun Christmassy cording around the edge, and then there's a little red ribbon and a tiny little jingle bell on all of them. And that's how I finished. I finished all 25 of them. Oh my gosh, 25 of these little ornaments. I was kind of sick of them by the time I got them done, but I got them all done. I think they're beautiful and adorable. And what I did is I bought this big open back frame at Hobby Lobby, and I strung jewelry chain across. And then on each of the, let me take one of these off so you can see. On the top of each of these, I sewed a little lobster claw clasp. And so what I can do is I can actually clasp them to an individual link on the jewelry chain so they don't slide around. I had originally thought I would just hang them on the chain, but they would slide and you couldn't flip them back and forth. And so it didn't work very well. I thought about, you know, using pegboard and having 25 pegs. This was hard to figure out how to finish. And this is what I came up with. And I like it because they don't move. They stay where you put them because of the lobster claw clasp. It's actually hooked into the chain so they don't slide, and you can just flip them. You don't even have to take them off. You flip them around. So what we did was at the beginning of December, I had them all, I hung this on the wall, and I had all of them facing backwards like this. And every day, starting with day 1 down here, my boys got to come and flip one of them forward. And that's how we used it as an advent calendar. Absolutely love it. This took a 3rd place at the fair, and I think it would have taken 1st, except that they had one critique, and I think I agree with them. They thought that it needed something behind them, like a piece of foam core covered in like a red fabric or something. It just needed something. I had it open like this behind them, and they didn't like that. And I think I agree. I think I may go back. There's nothing in this frame other than where I've screwed in the jewelry chain. And so I may go back in with a piece of foam core, cover it with some fabric that coordinates, and have it behind them so they've got a little bit more of a background. But anyway, I love this. I'm so glad it's finally done. This was such a huge, long process to finish all of these. And they're adorable, and I love it, and my boys love it. So this may get further fully finished by putting a piece of foam core behind, but even without, I think it's awesome. So that is my Brooks Books Advent Animals, and that was another fair entry. Took 3rd place. I think they wanted to give it 1st place, but they had to take points off because they all thought it needed to have a backing piece behind it. So live and learn. Here's one of them. This is Elmer Elephant, I think. Number 21, and I'll hang him back on, but you can see more closely how I finished them. I stitched these on 32 count blue spruce linen by Zweigart, and made the border thicker. If you go watch some of my previous videos, I talk about how I changed them. And then yeah, finished them with this cute red stripy Christmas fabric and this cording that's like sparkly and Christmassy, and then a bow and a little jingle bell. You can hear it, little tiny jingle bell. So those were my Advent Animals. Last finish, whew, we're already at almost 18 minutes. This is a lot of stuff. My last finish, it's beautiful. This was my 1st place winner at the fair. I did not win the purple ribbon, the best of cross stitch ribbon this year, but this one did take 1st place in its category, and I'm so glad because this is a special finish. This is my Little Sheep Virtues. And it's done. Oh, it's another big one. Sorry for the glare. Can you see it? This is my Little Sheep Virtues. This is a mashup of the 12 Little Sheep Virtues by Little House Needleworks, and then this center chart is Country Cottage Needleworks Sheep in the Meadow. This is a big boy. And sorry, I know some of you are going to ask, I received the charting, like the layout chart for how to put this all together for free from another stitcher who came up with it first. I did not come up with this. I saw it on one of the Facebook groups and fell in love and was like, I must have it. So I found it. She's emailed it to me, how to do the layout. You do have to alter the center Country Cottage chart. You have to alter this one just a hair to make it all fit. I do not know what the link was anymore, but if you go back to some of my previous videos, I'm sure I have it linked or at least posted where you can get it. But yeah, I love this. It is so beautiful. We finished it in a barnwood frame from Hobby Lobby because more barnwood. And we did a double matte with the dark green and then like a cream on the inner stuff to make the sheep kind of pop out. We wanted to make the sheep pop a little bit. And then each of these Little Sheep Virtues came with buttons from Just Another Button Company. So there's this one, and there's a heart, and there's a dove, and yeah, there's little buttons in each of those 12 charts that I put on. but oh, the glare is terrible, sorry. That is my little sheep Virtues. It's big, it hangs in my living room. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad it's done. It's one that I've been working on for a long time. So nice to have that done. And that one took the blue ribbon. It took the first place ribbon. Okay, those were all of the pieces I entered in the fair. We're already at 20 minutes, sorry guys. But a bunch of people asked to see them, so there you go. Let's talk about the stitching for this week. I did have some finishes, so I'm gonna show them to you. The first one, this was my like on the go project. I had this in my purse and in the car to stitch at, doctor's appointments and stuff. And this was Prairie Schooler Night Flight. This is the one you didn't see in my last video. This was that 12th whip that I hadn't grabbed, but it's done now, so it's not a whip anymore, it's a finish. So here it is. Backside, there it is. That is Prairie Schooler's Night Flight. A couple things I changed. The moon, no, her eyeball is supposed to be in white, and I didn't like that there was just like a few stitches of white, so I just did her eyeball in orange. I think it looks awesome. I stitched this on 25 count Lugana, ivory or cream Lugana, and I stitched this with DMC 3 strands over 2. To get the nice opaque coverage on 25 count. I liked stitching it on the larger count. I think it finished up to be a really nice size. It does gobble up floss though. Stitching on this large of a count with 3 strands of DMC, I probably used 2.5 full skeins of 3371 to finish just this one piece. So if you're gonna stitch these on a bigger count like I am, or with 3 strands, make sure you grab several skeins because you're gonna need them. But that is Night Flight. That is the 3rd one of these Prairie Schooler pieces that I have finished. I don't have the other 2 that's here to show you, but I have only one more that I want to stitch, and that is Double Double. I haven't started Double Double yet. I've already finished Knock Knock and Who's There, and then I just did Night Flight. This is the last one I want to stitch, Double Double, on the same count fabric, and all 4 pieces will get finished together somehow. Don't know how yet, but I will try to do something cute. I've thought actually about doing 4, maybe 4 no-sew cubes, stand-up cubes, and then they can all stand in a row on a shelf or something. I don't know. We'll see. But that was a finish, so that took me down to 11 works in progress. Then I had 2 more small finishes. And that was Martha Washington. Did I finish this in the last video? I may have finished this. I can't remember. If I had this finished in the last video, disregard this. But I did finish Martha Washington at some point in the last month. And then I went ahead and finished Nathan Hale as well. So these were 2 finishes. This is Little House Needleworks Early Americans, number 3 and number 4. I am stitching these all on one piece of, I think this is Wren. I think this is Wren. 32 count Wren by Picture This Plus. And I'm stitching them all on one using Vonna Pfeiffer's border that she charted to go around all of them. She offers it for free on her blog, but I did not chart this border myself. This is all Vonna, and I love it. So here it is with the first 4 pieces done. You can see the adorable bunting she charted on the top, and then the little stars and the red and blue dots down the side. I just think it's adorable. So there is Martha Washington, and then down here is Nathan Hale. So that's number 3 and number 4 done for my Early Americans. Loving it. It's adorable. I am changing the colors. I'm stitching these with my own choices of colors. Mostly Victorian Motto, but I do have some other stuff. Like I have some Classic Colorworks. This is Muddy Puddle, Hickory Sticks. There's a few other colors in here. The skin is Classic Colorworks Sun Kissed. So mostly my Victorian Motto threads that I've just picked out myself, and then some of the Classic Colorworks that are called for in the pattern. Mostly if I didn't have a good replacement for it, I just used the stuff that was called for. So that is Martha Washington and Nathan Hale. 2 finishes, but I can't actually like take it out of my whip count because this is all one whip and it's not done yet. I still have 5 charts to go. There are 9 total in the series, 3 rows of 3. I have 4 done, so I have 5 left. The next one, the center chart, is actually my favorite. It's the Freedom chart, so I think I'm gonna skip that one and save it for last because it'll help motivate me to finish. So I think the next chart I will put in will be over here. And then I have 3 more at the bottom to do, and then I'll go back and do the center Freedom chart. But that is Little House Needleworks Early Americans. Got 2 more finishes on that. Still at 11 whips with that one because I don't get to put that one away or count it as a finish yet, but got 2 of the charts finished. So next finish, and my last finish for this video, I went and I did, this is a free pattern, so I feel okay showing it to you. This is July from the Snowflower Diaries, Joyful World, Sal. This is the July that you saw. I only had the flamingos done and a little bit of the sand in my last video, and I went ahead and finished it. I think it's so sweet and springy and fun. I had the world's hardest time figuring out my greens for the plants, and I'm not sure that I like them still. They just kind of get lost on this fabric, but I'm just done. I ripped out this plant over here like 3 times using different greens, and finally I was like, whatever, it's good enough. I'm done. It's not worth this aggravation. So that's July, my sweet little flamingos. If you are interested in doing this project, I'm hoping that they're still available for free. I know she had some problems a couple years ago when I was still stitching with someone was taking her free charts and then like kitting them up and reselling them to people, and so she was considering at the time pulling her charts down, and I don't know if she ended up doing that, so I feel kind of bad showing this to you because I don't know if you can still get it. But if you want to do these, this is her website, www.thesnowflowerdiaries.blogspot.hu. I believe she's Hungarian, so I think that's Hungary. She also has a Facebook group, but that's where you can get these. And she has all 12 months available, and they're adorable, and now I have 7 of the 12 finished. So that was July. I stitched these with my own colors, again pulling from my Victorian Motto threads, and then a few other over dyes that I had that I just needed a few extra colors. So these pinks are just the best. These pinks are pink flamingo, how appropriate, and pink sapphire, and they're just so perfect for the flamingos. So that was July from the Snowflower Diaries. That was another finish. And with that finish, my whip went down to 10 whips, I think, because I had 12 and I finished 2 completely. So yeah, I'm down to 10 whips. That's awesome. Yay. So those were my finishes. I had 4 finishes. Whips. I needed a new car / on-the-go project when I finished my Prairie Schooler. So I pulled out folk eggs, and I showed you in my last video I only have 4 of these left to finish, and then I'm done with all 16 of these Prairie Schooler black Easter eggs. I did the vintage eggs chart that had 8, and those are done, and now I'm working through folk eggs. I had 4 left, and I've started one of them, and that is this guy. So I think that is, yeah, that's this center egg. Whoops! Just threw the chart on the floor that I'm stitching. I am changing some of the colors. I've added purple into all of these. There's no purple called for in this chart, but I like a little purple in my Easter time stuff, so I added some purple just where I felt like it would look good. So instead of having a red center flower, I just made it purple. And that's all I've got done on this. This makes a really good car project because the light is really good in my car, lots of daylight, and stitching on black can sometimes be tricky. I do not have an aught light anymore. I used to have an aught light, and then a very sad thing happened, and the whole head of the lamp actually broke off of the stand. It was a floor lamp, and the head that moves and swivels and stuff actually broke off. There was no way to save it. Called the company, there was nothing they could do. It was outside of the time frame that the warranty applied, or the whatever. So I do not currently have an OT light. I will probably end up getting another one. I may not get a floor stand or floor lamp this time. I might get a little table lamp. But needless to say, this is hard for me to work on in the evenings when I'm at home, so this is my on-the-go project, and I just have it in a Q-snap, and it works great. This is 18 count black Ada, and yeah, so that is my first whip. Stitching this with all the DMC. It's just DMC that I have put on these little floss tags I made myself. They're really sweet. So that's the DMC, my first whip. Last whip that is not a finish is up here behind me, because this is currently on my table stand. But this is my Prairie Schooler June chart, and I'm doing the big one, the main one. I have 2 of these finished already. I have April and November done. I have all the rest of them, so I'm working on June. And here it is on a little tiny roller frame. It's adorable. And I have the bottom, this bottom band completely done, and I'm almost done with the grass. I've finished all of the little motifs in the grass. Now I just need to stitch in the green grass and the railing on that side. And then I get to start moving up. And honestly, like 70% of the stitching in this piece is in this bottom half. So once I get all this stuff done, then I just have the words, and that should go pretty quick. So I'm hoping to get this done, you know, in the next week or 2. This is the one that's been sitting on my table stand, so I work on it throughout the day when I have a few minutes. But yeah, last time you guys saw it, in my last video, all I had was the house, and the house wasn't even done yet. So I've made some good progress on this. I am stitching this on 32 count, which is my go-to. I love 32 count. This is 32 count, either ivory or cream linen by Zweigart. And I'm stitching it with all the called for DMC. Really beautiful colors, like super, super pretty. Kind of almost, I wouldn't say dated. It is a little bit 90s in the color scheme, but I kind of love it. It gives it a really like country feel, which is totally in right now, right? Farmhouse everything. So I'm really liking the colors. I think they're really beautiful. And that's June by the Prairie Schooler. That's my last whip. I did a lot of stitching. Got some things done. I'm really motivated to like try to pare down my whips as much as possible before Stitch Mania, because I do think I'm going to participate in Stitch Mania this year. Haven't decided how many new starts I'm going to have, but I do want to get some more things done. So if I can get some more of my whips knocked down, I might be able to get down to like 7 or 8 whips before Mania starts, which would just be amazing. Most of those 7 or 8 whips, though, are big projects, so they're not going anywhere fast. Yeah, I don't have any specific plans on what I want to work on next. I'm just going to kind of let my taste direct me what I feel like working on. I'm still not starting anything new. I'm sorely tempted to, but I think I'm going to try and save all of my new starts for Mania. So I only have to wait 2 more months, and that gives me some good time to work on my whips. Haul. I did do a little bit of shopping. First cross-stitch shopping in years. First real cross-stitch shopping. I did order some Kreinik for my Glendon Place Easter eggs piece, but not like real shopping, you know what I mean. And I did order some stuff. So I have a thing about monthly series. You may have noticed. I have 3 monthly series currently on the go. I have my Country Cottage Needleworks Cottages of the Month. I have my Joyful World Sal by the Snowflower Diaries that I just finished July. And I have my Prairie Schooler months that I am working through very slowly. So I just have a real love for monthly series. And I went ahead and bought the rest. I had 8 of them, and I needed the last 4 of A Year in Chalk by Hands On Design. I love her stuff. I came back to cross stitch, and all of the things that Kathy has done in the last 2 years, I want to buy them all. Her the little drums and the flapjacks and short stacks. It's like all around the holidays or something, I want every single one of those charts. The patriotic one and the harvest one, and I just want them all. They're beautiful. They're so, so cute. And then her new Scary Apothecary series, shut the front door. It is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that is not even mentioning her collaborations with Priscilla, which I've never stitched any of those, but the one that they finished most recently, I think it's like the farmhouse series with the carrots and cottontails and the star-spangled swine. Oh my heavens above. Those 4 charts, I want them. I need them. The other ones I thought were cute, but I didn't feel this like, oh, I must stitch that. The new ones are adorable. And now they're doing the chock full series with the little mason jars. Okay, I just want everything that Kathy has ever designed, basically. I don't know what it is, but her stuff all of a sudden is just screaming at me that I need to stitch it. So I went ahead and got the last 4. I had January through August, so I went ahead and got September, October, November, and December. And these are small. They will be quick. They're only 2 colors in each chart, I think. Yeah, I think there's only 2 colors in every chart. So these would be great like car projects to take on the go. But I didn't have fabric to stitch them on because I do want to stitch them on like a chalkboard gray. So I went ahead and ordered, when I ordered the charts, I went ahead and ordered the fabric. This is a Zweigart linen. It's a 32 count, my favorite, and this is in the color charcoal. There you go. Charcoal Belfast linen, and these are the small cuts. They're only 9 by 13, but that is because one of these charts will fit perfectly on 1/2 of this. I did the calculations. You'll still have like 2 inches all the way around. If you put one of those year and chalk charts on each half of this. So you can fit 2 on each piece. So I went ahead and ordered 6 pieces of it. And rather than order like one larger piece to put all of them on, I like ordering them in smaller pieces because they serge it for you. And then I don't have to deal with a huge piece of fabric, especially if this is going to be an on-the-go project. I can just do 2 on one piece and then put it away and grab a fresh piece and do the next 2. So I ordered 6 pieces of 32 count charcoal. It's perfect. It's a nice medium deep gray. It doesn't have the modeling that the, what's it called? The fabric that she uses. Oh, this was on gunmetal, Weeks Dye Works gunmetal. She uses Slate by Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, I think, for a lot of her chalkboard pieces, which has more of the modeling, obviously, because it's a hand dyed. This is just a nice medium deep gray, but I think it'll look fine. I think the white will pop nicely. It still looks vaguely chalkboard-ish, and it's a heck of a lot less expensive. So if you want to stitch chalkboard pieces and don't want to spend the money for the hand dyed, this Zweigart charcoal linen is a really good pick. It looks lighter here because of the lighting, but I'm trying to show you, that is a little bit more true to color right there. It's a deeper gray than it's looking here. The light is kind of washing it out, but that's what I got. Those 4 charts and the linen to stitch them on. It's taking all of my self-control to not start them right away because I want to, but saving it for Mania. The last piece of haul I have, it's dusty because I haven't dusted it off, but I was walking through Michael's the other day and this was on clearance for 10 bucks. It's this cute chalkboard piece. It's pretty big, and it's got this nice rusty and crusty stuff on the top. It's meant to be hung on a wall, to use it as like an actual chalkboard, and it's so dusty. I haven't cleaned it off. But I thought it was so cute, and it's all like farmhousey and rusty and crusty. And it's a nice size. It's big. So I figure I could finish some stuff on this, and it was, can you see that sticker? No. It was $10 on clearance for 10 bucks at Michael's. I don't know if yours will have it on clearance or not, but worth checking it out because I thought it was really cute and a nice big piece to do some finishing on. If I do, if I do the Priscilla and Kathy collaboration of those 4 seasonal farmhouse pieces, they would look phenomenal on this. And I think it would fit, maybe. No, because those are vertical now, right? She did those ones, the previous ones had been horizontal in orientation, and I think these new 4 that she did most recently are vertical. This might work. It might be a little bit too narrow. I don't know. I'll have to see. If that doesn't work for it, I'll use it for something else. But for 10 bucks, I figure, hey, I can add that to my finishing stash. That's all I have for you guys. That was a lot. That's all I have. That was a lot. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out for 40 minutes and listening to me jabber about my stitching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that was inspiring and fun and interesting and all of the good things. Thank you all who have offered advice and help on finding the right color of sparkle for my Glendon Place eggs all around. I am in the process of finding the right color. I called 123 Stitch and they were super helpful, and then I talked to some other stitchers, and I think I'm narrowing it down on what color I'm actually going to order to finish that piece. So if I can get the right color in, that one could probably be finished before Mania, because there's not much left to do on that. And that's it. We're doing great. Family's awesome. My husband is away right now. He's out doing an external rotation at another location. So we're without Daddy for a few days, but my boys are awesome. We're doing awesome. Everything is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I say awesome a lot. Anyway, thanks guys. Have a great day. I hope you're all healthy and happy and well and enjoying your stitching, and I'll see you real soon. Okay? Bye.